Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. This is GDF Corner. This is our Road to Istanbul. Global Donors Forum is happening on the 14th to 16th of April. And today with me is our special guest, Azim Kidwai. Assalamu alaikum, Azim.
Walaikum assalam, Sajad.
Azim, we're going to be putting you in the hot seat and asking you some questions about Global Donors Forum. We want to know, and people want to know, what's Global Donors Forum?
So Global Donors Forum is a unique platform where we're bringing together politicians, chief execs from charities, donors, royalty, and anyone that has a concern to raise the profile, raise the success, raise the significance, and raise the impact of the needs of Muslim communities.
What problem are we trying to solve? Because I hear all that and it seems like it's a nice event in Istanbul. What problem are we actually trying to solve with GDF?
I think the biggest problem we're trying to solve is apathy. So right now, we all look at what's going on in the world and say, oh, what can I do? Can't do anything. And all that happens is we end up just doing the same thing we've always done, expecting a different result. So we're bringing together people that have the capacity to change and the ability and the money to work together to do things in a different way.
So for example, a charity leader sat at home at the moment watching this video or listening to what we're talking about is probably thinking, well, look, my charity, it's a small cog in such a big space. What difference realistically am I going to make to coming and meeting royalty and other philanthropists? What message have you got for them? What difference will it make to them?
Excellent, great question. I would say the difference it will make is it'll give them the ability to not be that small cog. Because the reality is, let's just say you're a normal, I don't know, $5 million organization and you're buying and you have a programs running in, let's say, Syria. You might be buying materials and funding your programs with, say, $500,000. But if you were doing that with 10 other people or 10 other organizations similar size, all of a sudden you're buying at $5 million. Scale that up a bit. Maybe you're at $5 million. You do that with 10 other people, you do that at $50 million. Scale that up again 10 times. If you're buying at $50 million, do it at $500 million. So the point is, we're providing a platform and an opportunity for everyone to scale, as long as they have the capacity and desire to do that, and they're not satisfied to just carry on doing the same thing, expecting a different result.
So on the flip side of that, for an organization that maybe is in the tens of millions of dollars, for the major organizations out there, what does this platform provide for them? Because a lot of that sort of questions, well, we're only doing that at scale. What difference will that make if we're at an event like this?
Excellent. So if you're doing that at $50 million, would you like to do it at $500 million?
And we'll have the people there that can make that happen.
That's the point. That's the point. So that's what we're working to do. That's why it's important to bring together not just people that are working in philanthropy, so execs in charities, but it's important to bring them together with ultra high net worth donors, with royalty, with politicians. Just take a politician, for example, someone that's in, say, a foreign ministry. They might be dealing with hundreds of millions of dollars. They might be the perfect partner for you as an NGO if you are a $200 million organization. So no matter what scale you're at, you can scale it bigger.
Fantastic. And just give us a bit of insight. I know we've been having this discussion about what the format looks like. Is it just a lot of people just talking from stage and I want to be sat there for 3 days just listening to conversations, or is there something else that's happening?
Yeah, no, really good question. The point is actually unlike any conference I've ever been to. It's designed to be the exact opposite of an experience. So there will be a stage, there will be subject matter experts, there will be people sharing insights. But the way the agenda is designed, it's all around co-creating value, co-creating new solutions, and a number of hackathons to deal with specific problems. So yeah, there will be some stage time, but most of the time is spent sharing knowledge and intel with peers, and then using that to say, well, what could potential new solutions be to old problems?
Hackathons.
Yeah, there's a number of hackathons.
So tell me a few of those that you might have.
So for example, one of the hackathons is going to be looking at the rebuild of Syria and looking at housing. So the idea is to say, well, we can carry on saying, well, we need temporary housing, emergency shelter. But at what point do we say, no, we actually need to rebuild Syria, one of the jewels of the crowns of the, the Muslim world, a country with enormous, wonderful heritage. Are we going to leave that to rot? Or are we going to say, no, we're going to actually build in a way that's befitting the wonderful history of the place. We're going to build a future that's befitting that past.
Fantastic, brilliant. Last thing, and obviously at the heart of all this is, who are the speakers? And I know you're keeping that quite close to your chest at the moment, but can you give us any indication of what might be there, or at least some of the past speakers that have attended?
Yeah, it is. That's not a problem. I think one of the things to kind of take note here is this is not an event for you to come and hear of that particular speaker, or they're a genius in this. So the actual people attending are generally the peers from within the charity sector. So we're expecting 100 chief execs from across the charity space, from the UK, the US, Canada, Turkey, and parts of the Middle East. And then, like I said, we have secured support from royalty from Qatar and from Saudi Arabia and from Jordan. And again, we're constantly in conversation with political stakeholders with a view of we need that interconnectivity. So if you keep an eye on the socials, you see every time we have a notable speaker, we are announcing them. So I think every day there's a new speaker that's announced. But it's important to know this is not with the view of you're there to just listen. So ultimately, everyone that's attending should consider themselves a speaker because we're seeking to extract value from all participants.
Fantastic. And for last question before we sign off, GDF, a lot of people are saying, well, who are you to take authority, and have you done this before, and what makes you such an expert in making sure some of this stuff actually takes place properly? Give us a bit of insight into how that's been done in the past and maybe the history of GDF.
Yeah, so GDF is nearly 15 years old. It's been going for a good amount of time. It's traveled the world. So the event, it's typically every 2 years. It pulls together leaders and stakeholders from across the philanthropy space. Last time was at the Vatican. It was actually hosted by the Pope. But yeah, it moves around the world. It's been in the States, it's been in the UK, it's been in Turkey a number of times, and we're back in Turkey. So
fantastic. All right, brilliant. Any last remarks for anybody who's probably on the fence and thinking, well, maybe I should attend and maybe I shouldn't attend?
Yeah, I would actually, and this might seem a bizarre thing to say, but I would say if you're someone that's satisfied with the status quo and satisfied with the way that your programs look today, this is probably not the right event to attend. But if you're somebody that's trying to change how things are, and you want to build a brighter future, and you want to innovate, and you want to work with new people, and you want to grow the scale of your operation, this is the right event to attend.
Thank you very much, Azim. This was The Road to Istanbul with Global Donors Forum. Hopefully we'll see you again at the same time next week.